Let's get it started in here. Hello, everybody. Running and running and running and running and running and running.
Diggity baba ba, piggity piggity pop, happy super hot, yeah, apple.
Let's get it started and let's get it started and let's get it started. Let's get it started. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Comfort Level Podcast. I'm Maddie, and I'm here with...
I'm Brandon.
And Sam.
And today, we're amongst family, so I was thinking, why don't we talk about some crazy family dinners? It was a recommendation from Brandon, and I found some good ones.
Yeah,
so.
That's my cousin.
That's my cousin.
That's my cousin.
Get out of my shots. Get your hand out of my shots.
That's my cousin.
Get your hand out of my shots.
He can't have his own camera. Family discourse.
Hey, you guys are too used to sharing a camera. Brandon cannot let you have one by yourself.
Yeah. His hand is here. His hand is here.
Let's start with this one. Am I the asshole for making a dad joke?
Yes.
Yes?
If it's you asking it, because I saw it coming out of your mouth, so I just looked at you saying it, and every time you do, you make many dad jokes. So yes, Maddie.
Okay, you don't have to out me like that.
No, she doesn't make dad jokes. It's like mom humor, so there's a difference.
But
That's sexist.
he criticizes it. He's like, that's the worst dad joke. That's like, that's pretty dad joke, mom joke tier.
And I tell some bad dad jokes.
He doesn't even pity laugh with me anymore. He just is like...
Good for it. That's a good part in the relationship when you're like, I don't have to laugh at everything you say.
Where I'm like, wow, I know that's bad because he won't even acknowledge it. He just ignores me.
Oh, he ignores
He just zones me out. Like, I'll be in the car just, talking. And then I'll look over and I'm like, that's crazy. Like, and then I'll call out his actions because it makes me laugh. Because I'm like, the fact that you have to be ignoring me right now is funny because that's the only way that you can find peace right now. He's zoning me out.
This is a relationship problem, and
It's not that
this is the
often.
appropriate time, but counseling, we can talk about that later. I do have a couple recommendations.
Do you ever turn your basement gym into a counseling center? Okay.
Okay. Are you the recommendation? Okay.
I think maybe we should talk to
Yeah,
him.
maybe we should talk.
Okay.
But you probably should be scared. There also may still be a bat in my basement.
What do you mean may still be a bat?
I don't know where it is. I haven't seen it. I didn't. Oh. This is not a good episode. This is happening twice already.
It's me. It's my fault. I'm the problem. Let me just do this.
You're not the problem, cuz.
He is.
Oh.
Just kidding.
But yeah, I think usually I am in a lot of these situations.
Okay.
Do we actually really need therapy? Were you just saying that to say that?
No, you definitely.
Of
need
course,
therapy.
everybody could need therapy,
No, everyone could use it. You need it. That's what I'm trying to get across.
So you mean when he zones me out to find peace in his day, that's a problem?
Yeah. Yeah. Textbook. I took a Psych 101 class. Okay.
So did I, Sam.
Oh,
It was
did you?
fine. Okay? Because it's about 2% of our day that's not like that. So maybe we should talk to him.
Yeah, you should talk.
Yeah. We'll talk after.
That is way too low of a percentage.
Brandon, see the asshole for making a dad joke?
That segue was crazy.
It was nice. It was nice.
Yes, because dad jokes are just so inconvenient. Yeah, dad jokes are just inconvenient. That's my answer.
Okay. Am I the asshole for making a dad joke? Note, my stepdaughter Madeline was about a year old when I married her mother, Jessica. Madeline's father died before she was born. She's currently 15 and she's been rebelling for almost everything. She did something bad, so while picking her up, I set up a punishment for her. And then she said, "You're not my dad. I don't have to follow you." Honestly, I got a bit hurt from it, but I understand that she didn't mean it and that she'd probably change. I just replied, "I'm still your legal guardian for the next 3 years, and as long as you're in my house, you have to follow my rules." This happened about 2 days ago. So our family was going grocery shopping when Madeline said, "I'm hungry, I need food." I decided to be extremely cheeky and I said, "Hi, hungry, I'm not your dad." My son just started to laugh uncontrollably. My daughter was just quiet with embarrassment, and my wife was berating me not to stoop down to her level. I honestly thought it was a funny joke, and my son agrees. So, am I the asshole?
I don't know what level of berating his wife did, but it's like, yeah, definitely don't stoop to her level. But like, that was just, it's a dad joke. Like I was saying before, it's so inconvenient. It's no one's gonna laugh. What reaction are you trying to get?
I think it's, because I think we talked about this before, like when you're like step parents to someone.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's kind of the asshole because there's some jokes you can make to your kids. Like that's a stupid joke to your biological kid. That's different saying it to your step kid or your adopted kid. Like even if you mean it the same way, you might see him like, "Oh, yeah, this is my kid. I can make this joke." It's still kind of, you're like, well, technically, yeah, you're not my dad, and you making a joke about it is kind of messed up. That's why I'm like, and I like saying bad jokes that are probably bad like that, but I would like, yeah, I don't think I would say that one probably. Just because it's my stepkid. And we've already had to talk about she's saying you're not my dad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I think it's a tough situation too. I agree with you though, Sam. And Brandon. I guess said the same thing kind of. But you were just saying it probably wasn't appropriate and you were kind of going more into detail why it wasn't appropriate.
Yeah.
I agree. Because like, even if, it's not your kid, she's still a teenager. So she's going to take that so hard. And like you said, it's definitely not the place as the step parent to make that a joke. Because I feel like there's like you said, there's some things that you can't joke about because once you make it a joke, it's always going to feel like an insecurity for them where they're like, "Do you really feel like that? Like, you're not my dad."
Right.
So, I don't know. I agree. I think you're right.
And actually think about the construction of the joke. It's like, "Hey, hungry." I don't get the "I'm not your dad" part. That just seems like...
It wasn't even funny.
Yeah, that seems like a rude part. That's not even the part, the "Hey, hungry" joke.
And that's where the stooping comes.
You're like, "Hey, hungry, you're fat." "Hey, hungry, you're ugly."
Yeah.
That's basically what it seemed like to me. It wasn't even a part of the joke.
Yeah. There was no part of that was a joke. He was just
Yeah.
like, "I remember what you said to me 2
Yeah.
days ago, and I'm going to say this in front of your mom."
That's when I'm like, I think he's playing off. He's like, "Yeah, it's not." It's like, "It happened 2 days ago. I barely think about it." But you obviously are thinking about it because you waited. You waited 2 days to bring this joke up again. That's like someone who's like, he's been thinking about that. "I ain't your dad. I'm not your dad.
You
try
gonna do this
eat
to
food.
me?
You gonna eat dinner?"
You're in my house.
Yeah.
For the next 3 years, you're in my house.
My house, my rules.
My rules. Listen, buddy. Okay?
Yeah.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not your dad.
But you are hungry.
Hungry.
Hungry. Isn't that funny, honey? Isn't that funny, honey?
Your dad died, and I'm not a replacement for him.
Dad jokes are just so it made me mad just hearing the delivery. Cause my dad makes dad jokes, and I'm just like,
But your dad doesn't make dad jokes the same. Your dad makes dad jokes that are not even make sense. I'm like, "Uncle, what are you doing?"
But then he'll be like chuckling to
Yeah, he
himself.
chuckles, and
He'll
that
be like-
makes it funny. But I'm like, that's not even a joke, I don't think.
I remember the other day, your dad showed me and you a video that he was cracking up about. He was like, "Have you seen this guy? Have you seen this guy?" And it's literally, what is the video? What
it was
the
just a
video?
guy doing like everything like aggressively, like he would just make up the bed aggressively.
Uh-huh.
That was the joke. And his dad was like,
And he would look up at me and be like, oh, well, okay.
Well, that's a bad thing too. Like showing videos to people and like trying to get their reaction. You're just like, right? Huh? Right?
Yeah.
It's never good.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, it's good to share videos with people. But yeah, making them watch it in front of you is like a hell that even if I think it's funny, I'm like uncomfortable because I'm like, I feel like I have to perform for you to like,
We could,
Oh, no,
we
I
could
do it all
change
the
that.
time.
We could change that.
how?
I'll show you a video, and I want your genuine reaction.
That's what you're saying, but what if?
If it's not the one I want, I'll just be okay with it and move on.
I don't think most people are like that.
Yeah, I'll be like, why don't you laugh?
Yeah, I think
That
people
was
are
funny.
invested in your opinion. Like, I like showed this to you, and now you're like, you're not going to react how I wanted you to react.
Actually, I have an example. The dog video where he like tries to jump up under the counter. You remember I was laughing at it for like 3 days straight, and I finally showed you, and you're like, oh yeah, that's funny. And I watched it, and I just continued to laugh because I was just like, I don't care. This video is hilarious to me.
It didn't change anything for you.
No, I was
No, he
dying.
moved I remember, this is the one that I remember. And to this day, I'm like, why do you think this is funny? It was a video of this guy in some store, and he did a stupid skeleton joke. And Brandon cracked up at the video. He was like, Maddie, you gotta see this. You gotta see this. And I'm like, oh. And then he's just like, the skeleton.
I
and I'm
remember
like-
that video. That's,
You still think about it. You still makes him happy.
It makes him laugh
I don't
so
know
hard.
why.
I just don't understand it.
it's just a guy. He's holding a skeleton, and he's like, what is a skeleton's favorite snack? To this other guy, he's like, I don't know, but like he just looks genuinely uncomfortable. And he's like, Robbie, what is a skeleton's favorite snack? And then he doesn't answer. He's like, I don't know. And then he like starts slamming the skeleton. This bite's like, oh, why do you always disappoint me? Robbie, tell me, what is a skeleton's favorite snack? And the dude's like, I don't know. He's like, ribs. It's ribs. But it was like the chaos of it just made me die of laughter. And
Maddie's like mad. Like the way she was looking off into the distance, she still didn't make her happy.
I have a joke for you. What is a skeleton's favorite snack?
I don't know.
Go on, guess.
Death?
No. Go on, guess.
I don't know.
Come on. Guess. Why are you laughing? I haven't told the punchline yet. What is a skeleton's favorite snack? Guess.
You're putting me in a lot of pressure.
Guess. Fuck. Guess. Guess, goddamn you. Why won't you answer me? What is my favorite snack?
Bones?
No! No!
Jeez, this is not...
What is it? Why must you fail me so often? Ribs! Spare ribs! Fuck!
it was hilarious to me.
I'm just, comedies, different strokes
we
for
all
different folks.
comedic tastes. Some like funny things and some don't.
He doesn't like funny stuff.
It was funny to me.
Well, I think it's like why people don't share like podcast recommendations, because like videos are okay. You're like, it's just a video. It's like a short thing, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, podcast recommendations, like, oh, this is something about me. Like I spend hours of my life
Absorbing.
listening to these people talk for an hour at a time. And I feel weird to recommend that because I'm like, if you don't like that, it means you're like, oh, you don't like something about me, because this is what I think a lot of these things. I never recommend a podcast. I don't think I ever have.
You have.
You did. Flagrant.
Flagrant.
Oh yeah, well I just felt like he
Pinch
would like.
poke.
Flagrant 2 or whatever it's called.
But I'm like, that was a new one. I'm like, I didn't feel invested because I'm like, I just started watching that one like a month before. It wasn't as invested.
That one's like super popular though, right? Like a lot of people know about it.
Yeah, even though I don't watch it as much anymore. I think it was that time. I think I've watched like maybe an episode a month now. I was watching everyone, and now I'm just like,
Yeah.
dip in and dip out.
Yeah.
'Cause they're so long. They're too long.
No, I have been getting into 6 to 8 hour long videos. There's this guy named Quentin Reviews who talks about shows but in extreme detail. And he talked about, I think he talked about Fred first, but I didn't watch that. He talked about iCarly, and he talked about Victorious, and he talked about Sam and
entirety
Cat.
of the show?
The entirety of the show, the history behind it, the characters and analysis. He does everything. But it's not like something where I'll sit and watch all 6, like I watch it over like a week.
Right.
And I'll just listen to it in the background or something. And yeah, I've just been like absorbing his content. I feel like that's all I've listened to now. Like,
Which is kind of cool. Because I think those podcasts, because I know my friend's been watching the Boy Meets World podcast. We're watching an episode a week. And I watched the It's Always Sunny one where they go through an episode a week. And I'm like, I love that behind the scenes of like you talking specifically like what happened, who was on, like why they did this on the show.
it's casting characters of the show.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Boy Meets World is crazy though.
Really?
Yeah, because they're talking about how like apparently this producer was like very rigid on what they could do, so a lot of what's acted is like his vision. They didn't really get to branch out.
They didn't have like a lot of creativity.
Yeah. And also because I'm like I was a kid watching that, thinking like people like Topanga. I just think of the show. I think of Topanga. She was like on like 4 episodes in the first 2 seasons. She wasn't even a main character until the 3rd season.
That's interesting because all the reruns that I see
Exactly.
on TV now
Yeah, you
have
just think of
Topanga
Topanga
in
and
it.
their whole story, but I'm like, she wasn't even a regular until like the 3rd season. She wasn't even in the theme song until the 3rd season.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
it's crazy how like your memory, you think things, and it's just
Well, I think with those reruns, they just probably played past season 3.
yeah, because
So then it kind of like.
I watched a couple of the first season episodes. I'm like,
To see how little they are,
They're
and then
little.
like when they're in college, it's like whoa.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, one of the cool things in that one, they're like, what was hard for Corey, if you watch the first season, there's not a scene where he's not in. So he's acting like he did not get any downtime. Like other actors got downtime. He's literally in every scene. Even when it wasn't about him, he's in the background or doing something. And I'm like, that's wild. That should be child labor laws against
Yeah.
that. Okay, we're talking about Boy Meets World. This is nothing.
Different podcast. Different podcast.
podcast.
Stay paying attention to this one.
So there was an edit. He said, I did adopt her, so legally I am her parent. And then a mini update. I'll probably give a full update later. I don't think he did. But here is what happened so far. I go to my daughter's room after dinner and begin talking with her. And he says, hey, I'm really sorry that I hurt you by my words, I said. And I'm really your dad. I changed your diapers. I met your boyfriend. I plan on helping you through college. And plus, I'm legally your dad. So we're stuck together. But seriously, I'm going to love you like my daughter, even if you don't think I'm your dad. Then I hugged her. She did start to cry. I assume that's good.
I thought you was going to say like, but seriously, I'm really not your dad. That would have been funny.
That would have been a great time.
Yeah,
joke.
seriously, I'm not your dad.
Her mom and I are getting a divorce next week, actually. So I have, Okay, I have 2 stories.
Ooh.
You tell me which one you want me to read, okay?
Okay.
Am I the asshole for speaking Italian to my girlfriend's rude Italian-American family and embarrassing them? Or swipe, 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 swipe. Hey, let's keep it together. Am I the asshole for what I said after my husband commented on my flat chest?
Well, obviously.
Okay,
I mean,
that's the one that I wanted to
I mean,
read.
well, obviously.
Okay.
Even I want to see what the Italian like. Bada bing. That's right.
But, yeah.
Babushka.
Mozzarella.
Okay.
Now you have to cut that out. Do not let that be in there.
It's going to be in there. It's
She's
going to be the...
She's definitely gonna put.
She's gonna put like an echo over it too.
Yeah.
Mozzarella.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this is what Sam thinks about Italian-American. Mozzarella!
It's gonna have reverb and everything.
We'll go. I'm walking here. Okay, nice. I'll give you more.
Okay. Am I the asshole for what I said after my husband commented on my flat chest? My husband, Jared, and I have been married for 3 years. He's currently out of work, used to work at a high school, paying job, but got kicked out over a fight with a coworker. I'm the one paying for rent and utilities. We dedicate some time to see his family weekly. They don't know he's unemployed because he thought they'll see him as a failure, especially his mom, so he told me to keep it a secret. Last night, we were sitting eating dinner at the table. His cousin was talking about his fiance going to Brazil to do a boob job. Jared asked if he was serious, then flattered that fiance's sister-in-law's boobs, saying that they're perfect and that he didn't understand why she'd get a boob job. He then turned to me, stared at my chest while I was eating like an idiot. I have a flat chest, I'm insecure about it, but you can't do anything about it, obviously. And then he said, hey, why don't you get a boob job? You're the one who needs it the most. His mom gasped and was like, Jared. And I said, it's fine. And then I turned to him and said, I'll get a boob job once you get an actual job, since you've been unemployed for 6 months now. He stared at me in disbelief. His mom began questioning him about being unemployed, and he denied, then admitted it was true. It got awkward with his mom scolding him and others shaming him for it and for hiding it. He got so overwhelmed that he went outside and stayed inside the car until I came. He started yelling at me repeatedly, you couldn't have held your effing tongue, and accused me of turning his family against him and having them judge, then shun him, and now he can't even step foot in their house from shame and guilt. I argued that his comment about my chest was insulting, and he said he was giving me a piece of advice and that there was nothing wrong with him wanting me to look pretty, and that he said what he said out of support and encouragement. But I did what I did was the complete opposite, and that it was intended to hurt him, and I succeeded. He dropped me off at home, then went to stay with his buddies. I called him later thinking he'd calmed down, but his friend said he didn't want to speak to me, and I should give him space.
Oh.
Kick him out. What he gonna do? He
He
can't
ain't
go
got
home.
no job.
You ain't got no job. It's the weekend, and you ain't got to do. No, but what he said. What did he say? He said something about like the bigger boobs making her look pretty.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, whoa, that's so out of pocket.
Well, he even commented on somebody's sister-in-law, and he was like, you have great boobs, why are you getting a boob job? And then he was like, you need to get a boob job. My wife, you need to get a boob job. Like, that's crazy.
Two dumb things. I'm like, if I'm with my significant other, I don't mention other people. I'm like, she could be the hottest person in the world. I will never make a comment about that. I'm like, yeah, she's fine. So that was already dumb that he did that. And then coming back and like, in front of everybody, we're like, hey, your titty's small, you want to get a boob job? It's nuts. That's crazy.
Yeah.
He sounds like a bad guy. He sounds dumb. At the very worst, at the best, he's dumb. And the worst, he's just a really bad guy.
Yeah.
There was like a nonverbal joke me and Sam did, when she's like, I have a flat chest, there's nothing you can do about it though.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah, she could do something about
His
it.
sister did something. But even now,
You
after
could get a boob job. That's something you
knowing
could
the context of the story, I was like, I feel bad for even that fake joke, because what she just had to endure was wild to me.
No, but that comeback. She was like,
She was
ooh,
ready.
She was ready for that.
Boob job.
Boob
How about you
job,
get a job?
That was good. I like that.
Yeah.
Nah, he deserved it.
Yeah.
You living in the house, and you gonna degrade her at the same time, and you're not paying for nothing.
And 6 months is too long to not be having a job.
You were trying not to get a job.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
well, I
ain't-
didn't have one for this one. But... So you don't say that. I mean, I got one eventually, but...
I mean, you're still young. You're not an adult in a marriage.
That's true.
What's he doing? What's he been doing? Probably playing video. Well, you probably play video games too a lot.
I don't play video games.
Oh, you don't play?
I don't play.
Oh, you're done with video games.
I play them like every once in a while, you know, but not really like that big video, you know.
Right. No one's judging you.
Yeah.
Sam,
This is
stop
intervention.
judging me.
Brandon, pull the banner.
Help!
She has a problem.
It's been 8 months.
It's been 8 months.
No.
You don't have a job. All you do is play video games every day. And
I
make
wish.
videos.
I wish I could do that.
Actually, I do think I have a problem with Played Up. Because I'm just like watching.
Obviously.
I'm watching Played Up streams. People are playing Played Up for like 2 hours, and I watch the entire thing.
You check the technique.
I do.
say,
Like
what do I
I'm
need to
constantly
buy?
checking the technique. I'm like, oh, this would be good to do. I'm gonna do that next run. Like I'm thinking about it right now. I'm gonna go home and probably play a solo game or play that. So I might have a problem,
A little bit.
Minor addiction.
but I can get over it. I can quit whenever I want to.
But
No, you
you wanna go home? Let's wrap it up then.
Okay.
So you got
Wrap
the
it
solo
up,
camera.
intern.
I think maybe you should wrap it up.
Thank you everybody for joining this episode of Comfort Level Podcast. Get your hand out of my shot. Make sure you like and
God.
subscribe and comment and all those good things. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Just a fist.